Major NFL news came yesterday when Vita Vea demanded a trade request from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm telling you right now, the Los Angeles Chargers need to go get Vita Vea because he can completely transform this defense for next year. Don't believe me? Watch our full video. Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks. I am your host, Will Ortner. And Adam Schefter, among multiple NFL insiders, broke the news yesterday that Vita Vea no longer wants to be in Tampa Bay. Now, the reasoning for this is Vea, he's going into the final year of his contract. He's 31 years old. He knows it's probably his last chance to get a big-time contract. So he wants to make sure that a deal ends up getting done and he gets that extension taken care of. The Buccaneers don't necessarily want to do that. Right now, he is scheduled to make about $18 million this year. So essentially, he's making $1 million a game, which is a pretty darn good deal. It's certainly not an overpay. Now, why we're specifically saying that the Chargers can go in and make this move and they can go and sign a long-term extension with Vea after trading for him is because he's made it very clear he wants to return home. Vita Vea was born in California. His family is in California, and he is interested in going and playing for a team in California or playing for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, what adds an interesting element to this is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play in the NFC. I don't know if you know this, but the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, they play in the NFC. So that makes it even more likely for the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that lives and resides in a state that he wants to live in, is in the AFC. It would be easier for the Bucs to trade away a key player like Vea to the Chargers and not have to deal with potentially seeing him every single year. So this is a big deal that I think the Chargers can go take advantage of. You need to subscribe to the channel, though, because when a move like this gets made, we put a video out immediately. In my opinion, producer Tom and myself, we're the hardest workers when it comes to covering the Los Angeles Chargers on YouTube. Some may disagree, but we certainly are going to put our name in the ring for that. As soon as news breaks, a video happens. So subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Join the Noti Gang. Don't miss another video. Why the Chargers have to make this trade? Look, if you're a big Chargers fan, you're an NFL fan, you already know this, so I don't have to go into great detail, but Vita Vea, the guy is an absolute savage. I understand that he's going into year 31. He's on the wrong side of 30, technically. The dude is still putting up a performance for the ages. Last season, 7 TFLs from a nose guard position is stupid. 4.5 sacks is even better than that. He's getting 34 tackles a season last year, and that was technically a down year for him. And I'd make the argument it was more of a down year because of the players around him. Vita Vea is having great success in Tampa Bay, and they don't have an elite edge rusher right now. They don't have an edge rusher that's getting to the quarterback the way that the Chargers have edge rushers that would be able to get to the quarterback. You think that Thule and Mack and Mesidor and Tucker, they wouldn't make life easier for this guy, a guy who's still performing at a high level? You're kidding yourself. Vita Vea is certainly someone that has not hit 31 years old and can no longer play in the National Football League. Vita Vea is not a player that has hit his peak. He is a guy that I don't want to say is still peaking, but his progression downwards towards the end of his career is not going to be a massive fall off. There isn't a big cliff. He's not Albert Hainsworth. Those of you who know. Vita Vea is a legit primetime performer and can help the Los Angeles Chargers win right now. Another reason why the Chargers need to go and make this move, you need a true nose tackle. The Chargers were very interested in grabbing a couple of different interior defensive linemen, not because the interior of this defensive line is horrific. It's not because the interior of this defensive line is horrible, but it's not complete. And it can be better if the Chargers just go in and make a move like this. The time is now. We'll explain more on why I think this trade should end up happening. But first, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Today is Taco Tuesday. Throughout the day on Tuesdays, PrizePicks releases multiple discounted player projections called tacos that are marked with a taco icon. These discounted projections make a player's more selection more favorable than the standard projection. Each taco is only available for a limited time before rotating to a new discounted projection, encouraging users to check the app throughout the day. Users can include these discounted picks in any lineup alongside their favorite selections. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Kenyon Sadiq, more on his receiving TDs. Jackson Smith and Jigba, more on his receiving TDs. New user offer. Best of all, play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. PrizePicks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at signup to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 plus lineup. When you look at the depth chart for this team, I'm not here to attack any player. I'm not here to say that the interior defensive linemen for this squad are bad, shoddy. I'm not going to say that they are not in a position to help lead this team to success. But none of these guys are Vita Vea. In a year that was supposed to be a down year for Vea, you can look between Caldwell, Tomlinson, and Tart. The guys who are going to be the starters on the interior for this team, they are good. But they don't have as many tackles as him. None of them have as many sacks as he does. And none of them have as many TFLs as he does. Vita Vea is an instant upgrade. And I'm not saying that these guys are bad. I'm just saying you go from a B plus crew to an A plus. We're talking about you potentially having the best interior defensive line in the entire National Football League. Vita Vea wants to be in California. He would sign a long-term deal. He is someone that makes your team better now, and you're in a win-now mode. It just makes sense. And he'd be a great veteran leader for the rest of this team. He'd help bring a lot of the young guys along. I've made it very clear. Joe Hortiz, get on the phone right now and trade for Vita Vea. Find a way to get that deal done. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Let us know loud and proud in our comment section. There are going to be some teams that look at Vita Vea and say, hey, we want to trade for him, but we don't have the available cap space to do so. Here's the beauty of the Los Angeles Chargers. There are plenty of cap space options for this team. We talked about it yesterday on the Keenan Allen video. Right now, the Chargers have $40.35 million available in cap space. This, of course, is according to Over the Cap. The Chargers could easily make this move possible. General Manager Joe Hortiz has made it clear that they want to make more moves. The Chargers are not done yet. So go make the trade. Get Vita Vea. Bring him in to the Los Angeles Chargers. There is no reason monetarily why not to do it. The last reason is the cost for a player like Vita Vea is not going to be too great. Look, the Chargers are going to have to trade for him. And when you trade for a player, that means giving up capital to go and get him. Right now, the Buccaneers, they don't have to move on from Vita Vea, so they are certainly going to ask for a lot in return for him. When I look at where the Chargers are at, I think it behooves them to go make this move. And then it behooves Joe Hortiz to go and sign a long-term extension with him. In my opinion, I believe that this is a fair trade value for Vea. And in fact, I might make the argument it's a little bit more towards the Buccaneers side. We know the 2027 draft is loaded with talent, specifically at the quarterback position. I don't know if you know this. The Buccaneers, they don't have a long-term quarterback right now. Baker Mayfield didn't sign an extension. He's going to be a free agent potentially. They need more draft capital to go and potentially get a player like that. The Buccaneers are not necessarily in a win-now mode. The only reason they keep making the postseason is the NFC South is horrific. So go give them a second-round pick. The Chargers do have plenty of capital. That is where Joe Hortiz likes to make his magic. You could also make some trades later on. But when I look at what Hortiz is trying to do with this team, I don't think that you're selling the farm just for a defensive lineman. I think that Vita Vea helps you win now. I think he helps you win 3 to 4 years down the road. and I certainly don't want to play him twice a year if he ends up in Las Vegas with the Raiders. This is my trade idea. Would you make this trade? Is this a good deal, to quote Brad Pitt in a movie that I will not say because there's a bad word in it? Let me know down below in our comment section. Is this a trade that you would make? Are you making this deal? It's a dang good deal in my opinion. I'm making the trade. And in fact, I might be willing to give up more because there's a world where it might take multiple draft picks. It might take a draft pick and a player in return to go get Vita Vea. But right now, there aren't many interior defensive linemen that can play the way he can. And right now, this Chris O'Leary defense is solid, but it can be even better. Get as many weapons as you can for your brand new defensive coordinator. Find a way to get this deal done, Joe Hortiz. Vita Vea wants to be in California. He's from the Bay Area. It's an easy drive from Los Angeles to get up there. I understand traffic. It's not an easy drive, but it's an easy flight. Vita Vea, get him in Los Angeles. Make the trade and then sign the long-term extension. Because I'm telling you, he'd be the best interior defensive lineman on this team, and he'd help the Chargers win a Super Bowl. If you agree with me, hit that subscribe button. I hope that there is a move coming. I think there is a move coming. And if that move gets made, you don't want to miss the content that we have here on the channel. You subscribe, you turn your notifications on, you'll never miss another video here on Chargers Now. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Go tell someone that you love them because it's a wonderful Tuesday. And as always, make sure that you bolt up.